Alright guys, this is the Nerf Rival Hades. So I've been wanting to get this blaster since it was initially talked about and shown pictures of online, because I've always liked the Artemis, but I never actually got one because I didn't like the idea of it being so short and without a stock. And Nerf literally took that and made it a reality. They added a stock and added 30 more rounds. This holds 60 rounds, and it's a slam fire pump action Springer. It hits about that standard rival performance, about 100 FPS, and it's a pretty sweet blaster. Now, don't yell at me. My desk is a mess. I'm working on like 3 or 4 projects right now. I really just wanted to get this review out because this blaster is so cool, in my opinion. It's a perfect rival Springer primary. Full size, full capacity, is just a beast of a blaster. Going over to the cosmetics, in the front you have your rotating barrel just like the Artemis. And your jam door is somewhere in here. I don't know how to work it. I'm too lazy to read the instructions, but I didn't have any jams when I was test firing this, so it should be pretty reliable. It's a very thick, beefy grip. My hands don't even fit around it. I do have small hands, but it's very big. Now it's very long and comfortable, but it's super big, and there's not a lot of texture. It's very smooth. There is a little bit back here, but not enough where you can really ratchet it, especially if you're sweating in a summer game or something like that. So we'll talk about that later, but that's a big, beefy, comfy grip for most people. It's going to be comfy for most of you. You have a front sling point up here. Here's your access door. You slide this back, and you have access to your rounds. You get 60 rounds, 3 tubes of 20. And what I really like that they did from the Artemis is they extended the loading bay. It used to be where you shoved 1 ball and slid it back. Now you can shove about 3 balls in and have it slide down. It's a very good addition, especially since you're going to be loading twice as many rounds. It makes it loading that much quicker. And when you're done loading, you just shove these all up to the front. Going back a little farther, you have your nameplate right here. Very nice, and it should be separable for painting and all that such. It looks like this is all separate plastic, so paint jobs are going to be a breeze with this blaster. You have your big grip down here. It's very big and very comfy. It's a little thin on this side, but it's very thick, so it actually makes up for it very well. Here's your safety switch. Push it down and you can't fire or pull the trigger. Switch it up, you can pull the trigger. Some people don't like these. I actually think they're very nice for transport and stuff like that, so you can't dry fire your blaster. So moving back here, you have a very nice big thumb hole stock. There's nothing in the way here that'll get in the way of your hand, and it's just a very comfortable grip in general, and that leads the whole way to the back of the stock. Now you have a few sling points down here. These are meant for the flags it comes with. I'd just throw those away. There's a big actual sling pointer right up here to match your front sling point, or you could use it down here to have 2 points, whatever you prefer. And right back here is your big old stock. This reminds me exactly of a Harris stock. It's about the same, but flipped upside down. Now, the only problem that I have with this is it's very small. Here's a 6 clip. It's the same height as a 6 clip. So imagine trying to shoulder a 6 clip, but it's obviously a lot thicker. About the width of a Rapid Strike stock. But at the same time, with how big this is and how much you're going to be shouldering it, it's not long enough is what I'm trying to say. The way the angle is, you have to put it really down low and have it down here in your shoulder, like almost in your armpit. And it's not the most comfortable for me, and it's a tiny bit short. So the stock is a little short and high for me. An example is this Rapid Strike I'm working on. The Centurion grip is about the same. It's about actually the same length, shoulder lengthwise. But the Centurion's back plate, the arch where your shoulder rests, is more in the center of the blaster's lines. So it's lower on your shoulder, the whole blaster, while your cheek goes right to the top of the shell. This blaster, this is so high up to accommodate the sling point that when you try to shoulder accurately, your face is about 3-4 inches from the actual top of this blaster. Now, if this was extended, it wouldn't be a problem at all. But since it's not, it's a little uncomfortable. And what I'm thinking about doing is extending this by about 2-3 inches and lowering it. Because right now, it's a lot of weight in the front and not a lot to even it out in the back. And it's a little uncomfortable for me. That's just me, though. I'm also going to change out this pump grip because, as I said, it's very big and bulky. And there's not a lot of grip on it for me because it's so big. So I think I'm going to change it out for an AFG because those are the styles I like to prefer anyway. I think it'd even out the look of the blaster a little more too. Just looks a tiny bit out of place in my opinion. But let's go outside and show you the performance. Even though it's just stock Rival, we'll still show you that 60-round action, all the slam fire and everything like that. Ooh, it's like Christmas. So I'm going to be doing a demonstration on how easy it is to load this blaster. Now, again, as I said, you can load 3 balls in like that. This is just my couch. It was easy to place in there one-hand load because my tripod's broken. Don't worry about it. Instead of buying new Nerf blasters, I should probably buy another one of this. But as you can see, it's really easy to load 3 in at a time. Here's 3 in my hand. There's 3 in the blaster. They roll down effortlessly. It's actually a really smooth reload, and I actually really like how they made it where you can shove. That's 4. You can shove 3 to 4 balls in there without even any effort and just keep going on the field. So, and it's going to be just like the Artemis. It fires 1 tube, then it'll move to the next tube. So if you really want to prioritize those tubes and get the memory down of which one's which, you can. I'm just loading them in for now because I'm going to be doing the firing demo after this. So, but yeah, it's effortless to reload. And if I need to go right now, let's say I'm about to get hit by a zombie or another player's coming, I could just snap that close and go. Ready to go. But I'm going to keep loading it because I need to. But that's definitely a high point for this blaster. Effortless reloads, like, from this blaster. This is super easy, and I'm usually a klutz with reloading stuff, and this gets high regards from me. So if that's worrying you, don't be. This addition of this extra slot up here is a godsend, and it's really good engineering on Nerf's point of view. This extra slot up here is honestly a godsend, and it's really great engineering on Nerf's point of view. How you can just shove multiple balls in there at once and just keep going. So kudos to Hasbro for once. I usually don't commend them on their designs, but they did a good job on this one. Alright guys, so this is going to be the shooting demo for the Nerf Rival Hades. Pump action Springer performance. Oh, that ball's gone. Those are about 60-foot shots. Now, Nerf Rival rounds, stock out of the box, are a little iffy on range and accuracy. They're getting the ranges, but the accuracy is a little lackluster on some of them. Now we're going to try the slam fire, which works by holding down the trigger and pumping this rapidly. Had a little bit of a jam there. There we go. There we go. So if you do rapid fire really quick, you will have some jams, but they're not too bad. You just got to manhandle a little bit. And as you can see, it goes from the right tube, and then I'm assuming it would go to the middle tube. Yeah, then it goes to the middle tube, as you can see right there, and then it goes to the last tube. So, and there's actually followers up here, which I think help when you're pulling this back to reload. And there you can see all your balls in your chambers, and there's your 3 chambers when it rotates. So yeah, pretty great performance out of the box, and you don't really need to do much to it. So overall, should you purchase the Nerf Rival Hades? If you want a Springer action primary that has a buttload of rounds, easy to load, and no magazines, and you can just buy it and go, I would get the Hades. It's my first choice as a Springer primary that Nerf has released so far. And it's a beast of a blaster, if I can say that. Like, the Artemis was great. It was a good pump action Springer, small and compact for CQB and all that stuff, but it was a little bit lacking in the comfort department, especially with the front grip. It was definitely almost this size and hard to get off. No stock for people that wanted one, and it was hard to put one on. I mean, you either had to glue one on or buy one from out of darts. And it's just too much of a pain. And it only held 30 rounds, which in Rivals a lot, because there's 12 round magazines and 7 rounds. Then you have like stuff like the Nemesis, where it's 100, and the Prometheus that just came out, which is 200. There's not really a middle ground. This is the middle ground. This is 60 rounds, which is a really good capacity, and you're not going to be blown through it that much. You're probably going to get to, if you're a heavy usage player like I am, you'll probably get to about 20, 30, and then say, I need to cool down. And then you'll still have an extra half a magazine left, just in case. And the best thing about it is you can run around and top it off on the field. That's what the Artemis was great at, and this is what this is going to be great at. The only cons that I have about it, price point. $70 is a little bit steep for this. And I know Rival stuff is more expensive because, wow. I know Rival stuff's more expensive because it's aged towards older players, but it's a little steep. So the Prometheus should not be $200. Now that's getting off range for this video, but way too expensive for 200, especially since they don't even include 275 rounds, which is what it can actually hold. But that's a different video, if I ever get one. Probably not, but this is a decent price point. I bought it on Prime Day on Amazon, so it was about $55, and that's a great price point. $50 is a great price point for this blaster. I don't think it should be much over that. The Artemis was $40, and most people bought theirs as soon as it came out. But then some people who waited when it was about $30, it got snatched up even better because it was a great price point for it. 30 rounds, $30, that small compact shell was great. This is a giant rifle, but $70 I don't think is worth it. I mean, the Rival rounds alone is probably about $20, $30, which is where Nerf is coming from. But we have third-party rounds that are a lot cheaper, and, you know, it's not really worth paying that extra $25. So if you can get it on a sale like I did, I would recommend it entirely. And if you like something like this, I would still pay the $70, but when it came out on Amazon, the next day was Prime Day, so I just waited another 24 hours and bought it then. The only things I hate about the Hades is the pump grip, and that's just me. Some people are going to love this thing and not even touch it. I think it's a little too big for my hands, and it's just a little too slick, in my opinion. It doesn't really fit the rest of the blaster, in my opinion. And the stock. I think I've already talked to a few people. A lot of people don't like the stock. The length is pretty good, but the height is just the most annoying thing. So I don't like the height of it. It's the comedy, the sling point, I know, but I don't think that's worth the payoff for what you're getting. Overall, this is a great blaster. I would definitely suggest it to anybody that wants that high-capacity Springer performance from Rival right out of the box. You don't even have to take it apart if you really don't want to. This is personal preference for me, the grip and the stock. You don't have to do that to make this blaster great. It is great out of the box. Nerf did a really good job on this one, actually. Price could be a little lower, but it's Hasbro. What are you going to do? So, if you like this blaster and you have any questions on it, I'll be browsing the comment section for the next few days with anybody asking questions. So let me know. I'll be happy to answer any of those questions in case you want to buy this but aren't sure about some of the details. And that's going to be all for today. If you like this review on the Nerf Rival Hades, please like, comment, and subscribe. It means the world to me, and I'll actually put out more reviews if I can get more blasters like this. Some of them are a little too steep for me, and some of them I don't really want. But if I can get them cheaper, I'll definitely snatch them up. That's going to be all for today, though. We'll talk about that stuff later. As always, have a great day. Again, sorry for the messy bench, but I was so excited about this thing. It's awesome. Go get one.